Yeah, we need to open a
Sorry.
meeting. We need to start a controversy. I had questions. I had questions.
According to me, run the calendar, you're too late right now. Somebody's calendar different than mine. It's 6 days too late.
Okay, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is the Winston County Board of Commissioners meeting. It's May 18th, 2022 at 1:15 PM. Roll call, please.
Jim Marlowe,
Present.
Rick Gentry,
Present.
Tim Atkinson.
President.
Is under old business before we get to new business. Number one, we asked Brian Burgess, our pick for EMA director, we asked whether Brandon would do the background check or whether he could go ahead and do it on our website. Brandon, I talked to him. He said it'd be better if he did it on our website. So I contacted Brian, told him about it. I said we'd reimburse him the cost. The results will get mailed back or emailed back to us. So he said he's already done that, or he's either that or he's in the process of doing it. So
$40. All right.
So, and then the other thing, I think we all got this letter from Steve Green concerning his ARPA. And he said it'd be more appropriate if Brandon applied for that money. So I spoke with Brandon, and I thought it'd be good to get a clean application from Brandon's office. We haven't spent any of them from Steve's request, so that money's still sitting there. And instead of just switching names, we'll just let Brandon fill out a whole new application, and we'll just go with that. And I assume that would need to be voted on. So maybe we need to wait until he gets the application
Yeah, okay.
sent
Right.
sent to us. He said he'd have it to us by tomorrow.
And remember,
So-
the whole purpose behind the application that Steve filed was to ease the overburden of cases, the backlog of cases over there. So this is in another attempt to ease the backlog of cases.
So other than that, does anyone else have any old business? If not, we'll move on. Under new business, we have equipment purchase of a GPS receiver kit, hand strap, bipod bracket, etc. Now, is this, Stephanie, what you're wanting for to track your husband on the weekend?
No, she'd have to say no because she doesn't care.
Oh, it's for the highway department. Okay. Travis, you want to talk to us about it?
So, first of all, I don't boast of some of this manufacturer, but Patrick is our new technician at the highway department. So just want to give him an opportunity to see you guys. And you guys to see him and recognize him. I know
So
he
you brought
probably.
him here this time to show him how he needs to replace any things.
Yeah, if you can go back to school, get his PE license, that'd be great.
There you go.
Yeah. So, so anyway, so yes, GPS has just become pretty much a standard for engineering in the 20th century here. You know, this is just going to bring us to the next level, being able to do future construction layouts, design surveys, be able to do things like go out and shoot utilities and document their location so that we can do designs more accurate. It's going to reduce manpower hours that, and increase the speed. So, not to mention that Patrick, come to us from a consultant who's very familiar with this equipment. So I don't want him to lose that ability over the next year or two. So now is the time to get it so he keeps his skills sharp on it. In addition to that, we've upgraded our CAD software that will complement this and give him the ability to supplement our use of consultants.
And it will make your office much more efficient.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll be
So saving on manpower, saving on man hours.
That's correct. Yeah, right now, we're operating basically as myself and him as the engineering unit. Before we had two other people besides myself. And we're gonna try this for a little while, see how it works out. At some point in time, we may need to add another guy, but right now, right, that's gonna help with that. be able to use one person. So, yep. So yeah, it's $22,420. That's a brand new unit. And we're buying not the top of the line, but kind of the middle of the road line on the receiver. So in the future, if we need to upgrade, we can add the a little better roving unit that will still communicate with this hand. So, yep. So that's it.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Sounds good. Okay, well, we just need a motion then to,
I make a motion to approve the purchase of the GPS receiver kit, hand straps, tripod bracket, and et cetera for $22,420.38.
Jim Marlowe.
yeah,
Rick Gentry. Jim Atkinson.
That's gonna work out good.
Yeah, it is.
all right. Moving on, under resolutions, we have the elected county official salary. This is something that we do prior to the election year, 6 months prior to election year. We normally set the increase. This, the increase along with the stipends for the treasurer, the county clerk, and the circuit clerk, which would be in the amount of $6,500 from the state of Illinois for the 23, 24, 25, and 26 fiscal years.
I got a question about why would the stipends be part of this? It doesn't come from the general fund.
Considered compensation for the elected officials, and under the Constitution for the state indicates that any elected official cannot have their compensation changed, whether increased or decreased. So oftentimes stipends are included, as well as health insurance contribution rates, because those are also another thing that can't change.
But the stipends all the same amount, or?
Stipends, some of them are set statutorily. For instance, the county clerk has a $6,500 stipend for the state mandated duties. That is in addition to their normal salary, and it cannot be used against them in setting their salary. Same thing with the treasurer's office, et cetera. So they are a form of compensation. So it's always best practice to put the stipend in. If the legislature wishes to change what that requirement is, then they can put that into their statute and allow that to occur during their election cycle. But most of the time it doesn't.
I guess
So their salaries will increase by 2%.
2%.
That would be for the treasurer, county clerk, commissioner, and circuit clerk. And then the commissioner salary will increase by 2%.
Right. Each of those for the terms of their office, the commissioners will be for a 6-year term.
Yeah.
Everyone else will be for a 4-year term. So just need a motion to accept this resolution.
I will make a motion to accept resolution number 22-05-18-34 elected county officials' salaries. Jim will have to second that.
I'll second it.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Rick Gentry.
Same.
Jim Atkinson.
Yes.
Next, we have the resolution establishing the salary for the Winston County Sheriff. There's been a move to increase the sheriff's salary, 80% of that of the state's attorney's salary. However, we're not quite certain if this is coming to play yet. The newest member of the board, Brett Barkey, our attorney. Brett, I'm going to defer to you on this.
So from what I understand, Senate Bill 3876, which is where that increase was embedded, increasing the sheriff's salary to 80% of the state's attorney's salary, died when the legislative session went out. So their action that was taken on it was it got referred to assignments, had a first reading, and then the legislative session adjourned without passage. My understanding is the state budget, when they passed the budget, they did in fact have a funding line contained within the state budget that would allow for the 80% rule to come into play, but it was just being taken out of property taxes. So it's at this point in time, it's my understanding that the 80% is not a requirement. Some counties have passed it. I know the Illinois Sheriff's Association has put out some literature, as well as UCCI, which is the United Counties Council, with sample resolutions. But at this point, I would not be comfortable in telling you that you are required to increase that salary to 80% without some additional research on it. But to my knowledge, and quickly here before the meeting started, I believe it's failed. Yes.
What about the $6,500 stipend?
I don't think anything's changed as far as the
As far as
stipend
that goes. So, I mean, could that be passed, or do we want to do it all as one?
I think you'd rather have it all clean as one resolution.
Okay.
So
So we received an email, the treasurer did, on May 5th from the Property Tax Division of Illinois. I mean, requiring us to fill out a new P-tax form for that 80%. When did that, I mean, I think we've already filled that out, I mean, percent to what, and I can forward this email to you that, because I forwarded it to the commissioners and everything, and to Brandon at the time, but we definitely would need some kind of direction on, are we supposed to pull that back, or?
yeah, that's the first I've heard of it. So
What was that bill number?
3876.
Senate bill?
Because this was sent to me on May 5th. I don't know when the session closed.
The summary of 3876 states, amends the county's code, provides that a sheriff's salary in a non-home rule county shall not be less than 80% of the state's attorney's salary for the county in which the sheriff is elected or appointed. Defines salary, provides that the state shall furnish 66 2/3 and the county 33 1/3 of the total annual salary to be paid to a sheriff. Prevents a county from decreasing the salary of a sheriff who earns more than 80% of the state's attorney's salary on the effective date of the amendatory act, effective immediately. And then when you look at actions on that, it was filed on February 24th, first reading on February 24th, referred to assignments, assigned to appropriations on the 28th. July 1st of 12 was referred to assignments again, and well, let me look here. That's an old one. Like I said, I've got to figure out.
So Perry did do it or did not?
Perry has not done it yet. There was only one, Livingston did, but I'm showing that as.
Well, let me ask you this. It says 180 days prior to the election, but if
Not prior to the election, prior to them taking office.
So it'd be
That's
December.
December. Okay, 'cause right now, we're beyond 180 days.
No, that's the girl that did.
So
That's what I thought.
that would have to be.
There's a House bill that accompanies it, and I'm looking to see what that one is as well.
June, probably, 31st June.
Eighty-two. I got the shoes off too.
My calculator.
192 or 192 right there. I got my shoes off there.
About approximately.
Yeah.
June 3rd would be.
June 3rd is the.
Looks like it might be House Bill 3863. I will find this out and report back to you guys as far as this goes.
Okay, we got time.
All right, so instead of making a mistake.
I would encourage you to table it
Yeah,
at
that's
this
what
point
I
in
was
time.
gonna say.
Let's table this,
I'll make a motion that we table this.
second that.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Rick Gentry.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Other than that, all I have, I think you have.
So I do have a question. Are we, going to, some of us going to take the money, we're going to send to Steve and send it over to State's Attorney's Office. Has anybody talked to the AD department to find out if they need something?
Brandon's done.
Is he,
Steve's initial request was taken into account the state's attorney's office and the public defenders, as well as jurors.
okay,
So
so
it was a complete
somebody's
package.
reached over there too?
Yeah.
Okay, because I did not want to leave them out.
Yeah, he didn't state it, but I know Steve tried to take care of it.
That's
Yeah.
what I
Surely,
thought.
surely to goodness.
And that's what I told Brandon when I was talking to him.
That's not right.
Right, so but if we just simply say State's Attorney's Office, we've got to include. public
No,
defenders.
it's kind of like an all-encompassing, deal.
Okay. Just,
And let Brandon know too, when the money runs out, that's it. The contract attorneys
yeah,
are done. So,
or they can make another application if there's still work to be done
Yeah,
there.
he's got to fill applications like everybody else.
Right, I think the goal was to ease that overburden.
so, I know this is all new. I know we're now on Zoom. Is there anyone in the waiting room that we open this up at this time to the public? If there's not,
You're not the public.
Can we ask questions?
Yes.
Just curious if you guys heard anything on the second tranche of ARPA money?
They talked about it a little bit when we were in Washington, and evidently it's still on track.
You're asking because of the generator.
I'm asking,
Yeah.
well, I'm asking for a couple of reasons. I'm just curious if they're gonna move, if the feds are gonna move.
Because we
forward
heard
with it.
talk that it may not be coming or reduced or what, no, it's still on track.
And that's
So
that's the
should be
sign,
coming, I would think next month, sometime next month.
that's the sidebar to that, to see when you guys are gonna start considering the next round of application.
Yeah, as soon as
Very
we get the
soon.
money and
Right.
we'll pop right on it.
And
So-
for-
I don't always believe what the state says, state level, but
The
the,
feds are pretty usually.
the deputy governor and Fowler both said that we're talking to the governor's office about releasing the funds, $10 million. Take it for what it's worth for the road.
Okay, you're talking about.
For the road, yeah. So there's two people saying it. That is me, ain't, but that's people saying, no, we're gonna get it. Doesn't matter if it's gonna be now or 3 years from now, so.
That's basically the same information I've been getting. from
Yeah,
some
yeah, I
of
mean,
the-
it doesn't matter once you get it, if it's a year, 2
It
years,
doesn't matter
whatever.
where, just as long as it comes in a way that we can use it.
Yeah, that's why they changed that word, but that's two people, so I don't know.
Right.
That it?
That's all I got.
Well, Ashley had his hand
Got
up.
anything?
Ashley's giving us an opportunity.
Well, I've got two things. We actually received a reimbursement request from Clarendon Ziegler Engineering for Lakeside Water District. And I was going to bring that before the board's attention and make sure this was going to be approved. This is for pre-engineering work, design engineering costs, which was $7,210 for the Cardinal Lane. And this is in the preliminary estimates. I couldn't remember if this was within the project cost that they submitted. But I remember a statement, I thought, from the commissioners in regards to preliminary work may or may not be reimbursed, I mean, with ARPA funds or through those projects, as you wanted them to do the work prior to submitting. And maybe there were a lot of projects.
Is it part of the,
It was part of the submitted package for the, this is the only thing.
say it's part of it.
That was our award for them. It was just over $1 million.
It was $1 million something, but this amount, these Joe
Cardinal
Burke
Lane's
said
not very-
were all included
Yeah, Cardinal Lane's
within
not there.
their original submission.
So I think the board was pretty clear about whatever their award was, that was going to be it, that they would supplement whatever the overruns were, or whatever extra costs were out of their pocket over there.
Okay, but I also remember,
If they're seeing this in as one of their bills, it comes quick off their total.
right, but what I'm saying is, I thought there was a discussion at one point in time about preliminary work that was done prior to design and everything else that you were not done.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think might be mixed up. There was talk about Blairsville.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I made a statement that if they've already paid it, why should Baxter, why should we pay that back? So
Okay.
let's make sure, look back at the tape and see, because I think that might be included. But I think the Blairsville one, I was kind of pushing back saying,
Okay.
they've already done the work. Why pay them?
right. And that's fine. I wanted to clarify that before, and I haven't prepared the claim, but obviously you're gonna have to approve that. But I wanted to make sure that I was under the understanding, because we are gonna start probably having more bills, submitted. The other part is, I think you had mentioned about wanting to see, an actual payout. He's like, well, there really is no like work being done.
Right.
So what he's giving me is basically their bill, the check from Lakeside that's already been paid, and this, estimate of cost as their documentation submission
Right.
for this particular.
To take the place of waivers of lien from.
So is this for the design? This is, I think what's highlighted here, that's for the design engineer.
$7,000,
Yeah.
just $210.
I'm thinking it is. I'm thinking the part you think of actually what I'm thinking is the Blairsville.
Yeah.
It's a preliminary, we said, why should we pay for that when they already did it? Let them pay out of their own pocket. I believe that Brian then would be paid out of that. But you have to find the record to see.
And at the end of the day, they're not getting more than what the award
No,
was
right.
anyway.
Let them figure it out.
In my opinion, let
Yeah.
them figure it
That
out.
appears to me to be the design engineer.
Right.
I personally consider that.
Yeah, we, just from experience on our process, once we declared it, we would put preliminary things. Design is usually always the design.
But Brian would probably.
So Travis, what's your opinion of that? Should it be paid? I mean,
Well, it does say preliminary cost.
So that's for the,
that.
yeah, this is his preliminary cost estimate for the project. That's the actual bill
Okay.
for the design engineer, I think.
Okay.
We approved one amount.
and it was included in the.
Brian would tell you straight up what it is.
The only way I would say it was, it's like you were talking about it, maybe it wasn't part of the original deal or something.
And if at the end of the day, they're short that's gonna be on them. Because
Right.
we just approved a dollar amount.
I don't care how they pay it.
So,
I don't care what bill it's paid for.
so is it okay if I request an approval for the $7,210 for the Lakeside Water District to be
To be
reimbursed?
used for that.
Yeah, you want to do it right now?
Well, and then if you approve it, then I'll prepare the claim, and then I'll get the signatures, for the claim, but then I can go ahead, and then we won't be waiting another week to get your decision.
Yeah, I think we should.
One question I
But
got
just-
for you, are you guys are getting any waivers?
We will be. I don't know, does the design firm hand out lien waivers?
We are getting them from Walker's Bluff,
From their
from
design
their
firm?
design firm. I don't know if that's 100% necessary, but,
Definitely on materials and some, and contractors and something.
So I'll just go ahead and make a claim out. And
So we need to approve.
We
that.
need to approve that.
Okay,
While we're here.
all right then.
$7,210.00 declared in Ziegler Engineering for the Lakeside Water District project.
What agenda item are you approving it under?
Under the ARPA reporting.
It's under ARPA and bond. It's under ARPA.
Under miscellaneous?
Yeah,
Okay.
ARPA in general. This actually is ARPA.
They had told us that was, we could just leave that as a.
Yeah.
No, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
You're trying to get,
Maybe
this
we-
is an ARPA meeting, actually.
So it's like the road extension project, if something pops up in between.
That's what.
Yeah, no, I'm good with it. I just
Okay.
Right.
didn't know
What's that amount again?
that it was the ARP.
Yeah,
process.
So what's that amount again?
$7,210.00, 7210.00.
Okay, you need a motion for that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion to approve $7,210.00 to who's that going to?
Lakeside Water District.
Lakeside Water District out of the ARPA funds.
Chip Marlowe.
Yeah.
Bridge Hendrick.
Yeah.
Tim Atkinson.
This is how I envision this working. If we're starting. the project.
So I'll get the claim prepared, and then I'll bring it up for your signatures to get that, done. The other thing, and I don't know, I have put together this appropriations sheet that now, has Winston County on and everything else. Just to update you, and Red, I can send this to you if you want. I've been working with him on this. I'm gonna wait, I guess, and to go out. Brandon has two different projects that he is working on in his office that he's preparing resolutions for, that I'd like for him to present, and we can have an actual hard copy to be able to show the other offices, how this, would function and work. He's going to be purchasing, I think we mentioned, some office chairs, and then he's got a person that's starting as a law clerk until they take their bar exam, then will be moved into a full-time status. So we'll be moving money from his assistant state's attorney salary appropriation line down to office expenses and the law clerk line whenever he gets those resolutions prepared. But I can give this to you if you guys want to. See it. It's basically the same thing. I mean, the only thing that changed was just put Williamson County at the top, and now we're the Fulton County that we're using that had 12 commissioner lines. I've pared that down to 3. So that's all I'm saying.
Yes. I think we just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Jim Marlowe.
Yes.
Rick Gentry.
Yay.
Jim Atkinson.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
So the other House bill is House Bill 4228, which also hasn't, according to,
Amanda, I guess I won't be stalked anymore.
Actually, he died yesterday. I thought I heard
Died-
him yesterday.
I don't,
was gonna ask you about it.
Kevin said to me.
I was
Last
gonna
time I
ask you
heard-
about it. I heard that.
Well, he was in a coma, or, COVID, and then
Yeah.
went into lung, and then went into coma in Paducah.